everybody is doing fantastic. It is Wednesday, another show. I hope you are ready to learn. So welcome to the Spiritual Knowledge Show. I am really excited to be here. My name is Michelle Henderson. I'm a psychic medium in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And I hope everybody is doing fantastic and ready to learn. And if you have any questions about what we are learning today, please let me know. During the week, I really, think about it, meditate on what I should be teaching or talking about, because whenever I say teaching, it's really that I hope that you're going to be interactive. If you are here, let me know that you are here. Just say hello and tell me where you're from. I know not everybody is from Texas, so just let me know where you're from. And if this is later, you watch the recording later, say hello, and any comments that you have along the way, I would love to see. And if you want to, there is a specific topic that you want to discuss with everybody and you want me to bring it up, I certainly can do that. Okay. So certainly. So this week, what I really have meditated on, and I know that because COVID, keeps going on forever, a lot of people are kind of getting down about it, and I can completely understand why. So what we're going to talk about is the road less traveled. And the one thing that I saw, I thought this was awesome for our topic tonight. So sometimes the road of life takes an unexpected turn and you have no choice to follow it to the end up in the place you are supposed to be. So guys, I know there's always a reason, and I know there's a reason why COVID has happened, and I know it's changing things, it's changing the energy, and I know that everybody is going through something and everybody is experiencing it differently. So that's why I thought of this as the one-way road, where you can't turn around. There's no shortcuts. We have to go through it. And I wonder what's going to be on the other side. So I will bring up some life experiences for me, and then I'm going to talk about somebody who, was in a prisoner of war and how he got through it. So I thought, I'll go ahead and talk about the road less traveled. And sometimes the road less traveled and the ones that we choose or choose not to be on are usually that's the best lessons that you will have when you're on the road, right? All right, so let me tell you about my one-way road. And I know that childhood experiences can be different for everybody. So I know that everybody goes through different struggles, everything, but I just want to share with mine. Whenever I was younger, I was actually on a swim team in Abilene. And I had friends. I saw my grandparents each week, absolutely loved my grandparents. I was very close to them. And a divorce happened. So then my mother remarried and we had to move. And we moved to Dallas area. Okay. So it's like a 3.5 to 4 hour drive. And so I really, it was the toughest thing for me. I was going into high school, 9th grade, and I'm going, are you serious? I'm going to have to make new friends for one. And I'm going to this itty bitty town that's completely different than Abilene. It's a lake town. And, it actually turned out to be good. But there's one street in this town where a lot of my life events have taken place. And this street is, I'm not kidding, it's only like the place I'm talking about is only half a mile, not even a mile. So it's just very interesting how one road has really impacted my life. And I went ahead and took a picture, and Hunley Drive is what is very, that changed my life. And again, it wasn't the road that I would have chosen, but because I kept staying on this road, things happened and developed. So I'm going to show you, hold on, let me get my picture. I actually took pictures of everything and it just didn't look very good. So I thought, I will just do this. I'm covering up something and I'll tell you in a little bit, but this is Hunley Street. Okay. And I will show you how it impacted my life. It is a lake town. So the street actually ends into the lake. I have never lived in a lake town before, so it was a new experience to me. And my stepdad had a boat, so we went skiing a lot. So I was at the lake a lot. And being a swimmer, I had to give up my competitive swimming too. And that heart broke me. Okay, so then my high school is the little white building, okay? And I only graduated, I want to say, with 82 people. In Abilene, I probably would have graduated with 400. So that's what the difference was in the size. So all 4 years, ninth grade to 12th grade, I went to this high school. The football field was across the street. So that's where I spent my Friday nights in high school. Then next to that was the church I got married in. So if I hadn't been on this road that I didn't want to be on, I actually met my husband. And we got married at this church that is across from my old high school. So, and then across the street was the middle school, and my mother was actually a counselor at this middle school. Then going down the street next to the high school, about 10 years ago, I opened up a private school for special needs kids. And being on the same road, and I drive by it every day, and I'm thinking, wow, this is like every decade of my life is just on this Hunley Street. I did move and go to college, and and then across from the school, where I'm there's a playground and a soccer field. And why the soccer field is very important is my kids actually played soccer on it. So they grew up in this area as well. So, even though this was not the road that I was supposed to be on, which was at Hunley Drive, I ended up in a good place. So you never know, and we never know why we're on the road that we are on now. Okay, so the one guy that I just really admire, he was a prisoner of war, and let me bring him up, is John McCain, okay? But he was a prisoner of war, and he got on, his plane was shot down, and so he got onto this road for 5 years. 5 years he was in a prison, okay, at Hanoi Hilton, and this was during the Vietnam War. And the POWs, his men, they were on this, and each cell was like a tiny, tiny room, and they could not talk to each other. So what they did is they communicated through tapping. And there was one of the military guys that wrote poetry, and he actually would tell them, all the people, through tapping, these poems. And John McCain always talked about that there was one particular poem that saved his life that he would say each day, and it would actually, keep him going. And when I was a school teacher, the big thing in fourth grade was to memorize a poem. So to motivate my students, I actually explained who John McCain was. And of course, back then he was living, okay? And I said, guys, if you have an affirmation, if you have a poem, if you have a prayer, and you're going through difficult times, that will sometimes get you through it because it will motivate you, it will change that energy. And I'll show you what poem that they memorized. And so I guess I heard this poem, oh my goodness, 20, 25 times, but it was well worth it. So hopefully it was a big impact on them. But I am going to, now if you see this book, and I don't know, it says Taps on the Walls, and it is the poems that this guy wrote and helped his fellow, peers, military peers, get through this. But this is the one poem that John McCain said that he got through on this horrible road that he was on. But this is what he said that really saved him. I do not know how long in the snow I wrestled with grisly fear, but the stars came out and they danced about. Ere again I ventured near. I was sick with dread, but I bravely said, I'll just take a peep inside. I guess he's cooked, and it's time I looked. Then the door I opened wide. And there sat Sam, looking cool, calm in the heart of the furnace roar. And he wore a smile, and you could see a mile. And he said, please close that door. It's fine in here, but I greatly fear you'll let in the cold and the storm. Since I left Plumtree down in Tennessee, it's the first time I've been warm. So, he is such a big inspiration. If he can get through this road, that terrible road that he was on for 5 years as a POW, we can do anything, right? And I know that everybody's handling things differently, and it depends on which road you are on. But just know that there is hope out there as long as you find something that gets you through it. Now, let me show you the poem that my students actually read, okay? And it's or they memorized, I'm sorry. And it's by Robert Frost. And it's The Road Not Taken. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both. And be one traveler long, I stood and looked down one as far as I could to where it'd been in the undergrowth. Then took the other as just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear, though as for that the passing there had worn them really about the same. And both that morning equally lay, and the leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day. Yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh. Some were ages and ages hence. Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by. And that has made all of the difference. So even if you know that it's going to be a difficult road, and I know that right now we're on a difficult road with the COVID situation, we are absolutely learning from it. So sometimes grass is greener on the other side, as they say. But we're going to get through it. But like I said, affirmations, poetry, anything that prayers, anything that will really, motivate you to get through, I would absolutely do. And let me show you one more thing. I am taking a class from Joseph Shield, and what he assigned this week was to go through the different decades in your life. And this pretty much showed all my roads that I have been through. And I thought, oh my gosh, this was a wonderful experiment. If you cannot draw or, stick figures or whatever, you can still get magazines or go online and find pictures so that you can make your own Auragraph. But this kind of really organizes everything. And I'm going, wow, every road I've been on has been good. Even though there are some roads I would have chosen not to be on. And, of course, you see the two eyes and the red hair. And the red hair really influenced my life growing up. It was very difficult to be a redhead in the 70s, so should I say. But you can kind of tell the first house is my childhood home. And then the second one is as an adult, okay? And the road the one that I didn't really want to be on is going through the divorce. The volcano interrupted. I didn't know what was going to happen. I've had some other things happen in my life, but that was the number one major thing that I have put down. But yeah, there's been some tragedies in my life that have impacted me on a road that I probably would chosen not to go on, but I did learn from it. And I'm not as probably triggered as what I am for the childhood memory. But again, I wouldn't have met my husband. So I always try to find the optimism in it. And then you can always do your future events. What I did is I need a lot of color in my life. As you can tell, the rainbows and then like the Wizard of Oz maze. So I'm just excited what will come after the COVID. So, I'm ready for anything. Once that road ends and another one begins, I'm ready to see what the world has in store. So I think that really has motivated me. So is there anything that you're thinking that will help you get through the road, or any road that you've been on, to help other people? What has really helped you get through it? Has it been, talking to others about it, or writing a story about your life? Or if you want to share with us, you can do that. And again, if it's a recording, please do share. So just remember that a lot of times whenever, the road of life takes you in an unexpected way, and it's a one-way street, there's no way you can get off of it. You don't know what's on the other side, right? And so you just got to keep going. And, with our spiritual, gusto and our energy, we're going to get through anything, right? So I hope this gives you peace, and I hope this gave you some knowledge, and maybe it kind of makes you think, sometimes the roads that you've been on that you've tried to go get off the shortcut way, it kind of reminds me of being on the highway, and people when the traffic starts stacking up, there's a wreck or something, and people try to get off on the service road, so they go through the grass and everything. You can't do that in life, right? So, and you shouldn't be doing that anyway in the traffic. But that kind of reminds me that you have to stay on the road because there are some lessons along the way. And then you can, you know, um, really look at your life and say, what road do I want to get on? What do I want to learn after this? So, all right. So hopefully everybody will do good and have a wonderful week. Many blessings, and find that poem or the affirmation or a prayer to get you through life. All right. Love you muchly, and God bless.